As a builder, as an engineer, when last did you visit the cement market to buy the product and probably use it for one thing or the other? What was the price? Well, it is a known fact in Nigeria that in the past few years, the price of cement has continued to increase, and this is a serious concern for stakeholders in this sector. Welcome on board to Midweek Connect on Nta Benin, and we'll be looking at this particular issue on our program today, talking about the price of cement, high price of cement in Nigeria and implications. And of course here I am Udrakobong Achibong, your uncle, and with me is Ifoma Okafotu.
Okay. Good morning, viewer. Welcome, guests.
Yes, of course, we have guests in the studio here. I'll come to them now. They are stakeholders in the cement value chain, and they are here to really talk about this particular issue. Of course, we know how important the cement is in Nigeria for anybody who handles construction work. Now, I have by immediate right here, I have Reverend Ewemade Michael. He is a state chairman, Cement Dealers and Retailers Association, Edo State. Sir, you're welcome to the studio.
Good morning, Nigerians, and my humble presenter. Good to see you this morning.
Good to see you too, sir. And right next to him is John Ezomo. He's the BOT chairman, Board of Trustees chairman at the Cement Dealers and Retailers Association, Edo State.
Good morning, my viewers, and good morning, my presenter.
Good morning, welcome.
Good to see you. Thank you.
Yes, but before we dive into that discussion, let's take a watch at a backgrounder to drive us into this topic.
Cement is one of the main materials needed in building houses, which the standard ought not to be undermined. In a country where several substandard products flood the markets, or in the quest to making more gains, it is not surprising then that cement, which determines the quality of a building and its durability, is now in this category of substandard products. Incidences of building collapse are recorded in virtually all parts of the country, making one of the main reasons to substandard blocks as a result of low quality and quantity of the cement used in molding these blocks. Due to this development, Midweek Connect this Wednesday will be featuring some cement dealers who have first-class information on what is playing out in the cement business. Do call in to make your contribution, if any, during the phone-in segments.
Thank you, Rosemary, for that backgrounder. Yes, talking about prices of cement, just about the prices that bothers Nigeria, like people like you, but a kind of cutting corners on awesome practices have been attributed to this increase, and is affecting. Well, first of all, let's establish what's the situation of cement, the price in Nigeria presently. Let's start with you, Reverend.
All right. Once again, good morning, my presenters and Nigerians and Edo people. The cement, the usage of cement is something that all of us are involved with, whether you are even us selling, market woman, trade, government, private and public. So everybody, we are all concerned with cement products. As today, the cement price by January was increased, and twice has been increased this year. We woke up by 2nd of January, and we're told that cement has increased. And
what was it, the price
before January 2nd? The cement price was between 9,500 and 10,000. Some places was 10,200. Depends on the proximity to a factory and warehouses. So by 2nd of January, we woke up and we're told that the price have increased by the factory. And of course, there's a chain of supply. the factory they produce, and the distributors they supply to us retailers union, and we in turn sell to the end users. So after a month again, on the 1st of February, there was a second increment on cement. So
What? From what
from
price
from,
to what?
from that when it was 500 naira, they added the first time they added 500, the second they added 500, so 1,000 has been added by the factory to this to the price of a unit sale.
So presently the price
What's
is
the
between
price?
10,000 and what was the range now?
As of today, it's between 11 and 11.5 that is cement. It's between 11 and 11.5 the price of cement that's being sold in many parts of the country. So the factors responsible for this is the low competitiveness in the industry. The low competitiveness. Of course, as big as this country, we have just majorly three producers: the Dangote, the Lafarge Africa, and the Boas. These are the major producers, and they determine the price that the product is being sold in the market. So the low competitiveness has given birth to this high price, and that's why we as a union we always try to interface with the government so that there can be some level of government intervention in terms of regulation, in terms of opening up the market space for more producers to enter the market, so that the competition can be very high. We as retailers, we are majorly traders. We really don't have any influence on the price, but rather as we buy, we sell. As we buy, we sell. If we wake up tomorrow and the price from the factory is reduced, we will definitely comply, because we too are end users.
I know you. As
I build house.
You begin to.
So we are.
Let me still throw the same question.
We are end users.
He has presented the scenario.
Is it not if they increase 500 naira, you increase 5,000 and said it has increased though? You understand? So as a business, thank God you said business.
Yes.
Yeah, let's still come to you, sir, Mr. Jones, sir.
Thank
He has
you
painted a scenario of the prices and probably factors that has made it so. How concerned are you about this scenario
Chairman.
that he has a BOT?
Yes.
I will start by this, because the producer we were made to understand that there are two factors that make the price to increase. We're told the logistics and the low availability of the raw materials. And our fear is this: most of this raw material, majority is recovered here, is get here locally.
It's sourced locally.
Source here. And as he has earlier said, if there is a wide competition between these producers, I guess the price margin will come down. Even the three main producers they measured, those two, among the two, the Lafarge and the Boa, they don't even have the ability to compete with Dangote. And Dangote is the sole major producer of cement in Nigeria. For instance, a place where a company is producing 10,000 megawatt, 10,000 ton in a day, and the other is producing 1 ton a day, who do you think dominates the market
space?
So if the government will look into this and give more hands to the other people who have this notion, this mind to create, to produce, if they are given the privilege, the license, I believe this whole issue of cement will come to an end. because even to our own hand, we are also having the pain. So the cost, like what I said, we're told that because of logistics and the source of the material.
Yes. Okay. Informer, before you ask the question, let our viewers know that it's a phone-in program, and the number to call to share your thoughts and properly ask questions is 0703 695 7086. I repeat, 0703 695 7086. Informer, what's the next number?
I want to ask
the next number. No.
Sorry. The next number is 081-090-42594. 081-090-42594. Thank you. Sorry, I was in a hurry.
No, of course. We are ready. That's why we're here. Go ahead, we are ready. That's why we're here.
Yes, just like he mentioned, everybody's mind, when you talk about cement, everybody's mind will go to Dangote, and he kept on mentioning that Dangote, that he is complained of logistics and every other. But you won't also forget that he has to pay income tax of 30%. Then education, he has to pay 2%. Then in health, 1%, and all whatnot. So, just like you said you're a businessman. Don't you think that all these taxes and levies are what are now, percolating to now cost the increment on that? And as a businessman, if he asks 500 naira, you have, I don't know how the market prices, whether you people have tax force that checkmate, because the prices are just anything you want, you sell. So what do you think?
All right, thank you. Well, for us as retailers, we have task force. We are over 4,000 in Edo State. We have task force, and all the zones in there we have in Edo State. We have task force. Now you're talking about the constraint of the producers, their constraints. Yes, of course. Is there anything you do in life? We have constraints, but how that constraint played out in the eventual price determination is very important. Who regulates their books? How do you even know what they declare? Okay, for instance, the whole cement industry declared a profit margin of about 49% last year.
Okay.
49%. Read it. 49.
But value after tax is up to 7 point something.
Wait, I'm coming.
So
yes, of course. It's good to make profit, but when your profit is anti people, then you look at that. Then your profit must be reasonable. Your profit margin must be reasonable. If your profit margin is not reasonable, then it's child lock. It's a burden on the people, because what we are talking about, especially the middle class, we are suffering from it. You might call us cement seller. I built, the only advantage I have is that I buy from myself. That's the only my advantage. But I built too, and I is the amount they sold to me. So if the way government regulation, proper government regulation, of course we know that they complain about logistic, good roads. But again, another thing we are looking at, one of the reasons that this price is coming, because it appears that the industry now have a major buyer, because our roads now be constructed by cement.
Yes, that's exactly.
So the industry now is like they now have a major buyer that probably they are not even looking more to the way of the retail of the end users, the common consumers. So now the roads, the drainages, just imagine you wake up, instead of selling at piecemeal, you have one major buyer who will send a huge large sum into your account at the month. So you may likely discountenance the feelings of the commoners. So all we want to do, the government is trying. We as unions, this thing has resulted into so many of our members doing into rebagging, and this is the struggle we as a union we have been fighting, because if this price is too high, and people who do rebag, and they are able to scoop one bag from number of cement, you imagine 11,000 or 11,500 one bag.
So a bag is 50 kg.
A bag is 50 kg. So So we, as you know, we have task force. We buy skills. So they go, but we are collaborating with the police. I've been to the commissioner of police. So we're already making a contact with the IG. So AIG for collaboration. Of course, you know, we don't have power for prosecution or for arrest. But if we come in contact with any of our members who are into this, well, of course we are actually out for this. So the government will need to sit up and look into this factory matter, because they are the people who wakes up and tell us whatever, and then whatever they put on us, we swallow.
Okay, let me say with him on that. Government should come in, because I listened. Dangote addressed the forum late last year. You know, it's not just about the Nigerian market too. They equally give it out across border, and he's saying that high taxes and regulatory incident here in Nigeria has really affected the price. That when you go out there, the export cement is cheaper than in the country. Exactly. Yeah, you begin to wonder. Exactly. And they say that the high taxes in Nigeria is really affecting prices here and all that. Don't you think that it's a serious concern for government, as in what it lays a responsibility on government to see into it when you are talking of bringing prices down?
Let us be fair to ourselves. When you talk about high taxes in all of this setup, find out how many of these companies pay their tax duly. We should be fair. I don't like a situation whereby people say things that are not. Let's forget about tax.
Okay, you mean that they evade taxes?
Definitely. Let's forget about tax. Let us be fair enough.
That because you don't have a...
I'm telling you now.
Okay.
Go ahead. Find out of what I said.
Are you not in this country?
How many companies pay tax? Let's forget about tax increment. I believe a time has come where Nigeria, the government of the day, should look into the production margin, the profit margin,
exactly,
and the expenditure.
Exactly.
The problem we are having is because the citizenry is not taking into consideration. You people are talking about, I listened to the highlight about low rebagging and all those.
Less substandard.
When people are pushed to the wall, what you expected is bounce back. Because I cannot see a situation where people trade and yet nothing to come back to them. So invested their money overnight, the price shoot. And these people have many people have deposited on behalf of against the day
with old price. Yes.
Then they are now coming to carry
and the price.
Let me give you an example. Last year December, cement was about 9,800.
Yes.
In my own zone, a woman deposited about 200 bar
money for
at the rate of 9,800, and the price shoot up to about 11,200. And you look at the margin, the difference between the 9,800 and 11,200. So how do you expect such a beginner or a retailer who does not even have the access to produce to be able to cover such space? So the government, everything still boils down to the government.
Okay, so you as a union, as the board member, Mr. Zobo, how do you people now, because you are at the center, the retailers cannot access the producers, so how do you now come together to chart a course for the reduction in prices? Don't you have like something like periodic meetings that you have with these producers?
Yes.
To carry on, because I know from producer, the retailers, from
producer to distributor.
So distributor now has access to the producers
Yeah.
more than the retailers.
Yes, correct.
The final consumers. So how do you now carry this burden or these complaints from the final consumption now to the producers? All these complaints, is it that they don't know about it?
Yes.
How do you do your meetings to now tell them about them?
November last year, we started a meeting.
Yes.
And this incessant complaint was much. We have to assemble ourselves, the stakeholders, the distributors, and the dealers. We made the complaint known to them, and even some of the Dangote representatives,
They were there.
and even Boa, they came. We invited them.
Okay.
We also make them to understand that this is what our people are facing. Is there not way we can salvage the situation? But they promise that they will look into it, that the company is doing all things in their own power to ensure that the cement price will come down and everything will go in the normal way. But to our greatest surprise, instead of the cement coming down,
Exactly.
and
January.
we just woke up. It was January 31st. The rumor was on air, and we were hearing some filler. We thought that
It's too early for the year.
year.
And
As January 2nd,
and
the publication was hard, and the most painful part, even those of the distributor who may have excess baggage of load with the producer. The moment the producer is increasing today, they also
too much.
increase.
Now let's look at this. Let me come to you, Reverend Sir.
Yes.
We are looking at the high price of cement in the country and the implications. Now, we've had reports that there are some cutting of corners
Yes.
in this particular sector. A lot of people in building, work and construction and all that. What are these corners people are cutting? What are the unwholesome practices that has been generated from this situation we have in the country?
Okay, thank you. You made mention of two things: implications and how people cut corners. I'll respond first to the implication to this high price. Like I mentioned before, that the implication cut across board. All of us are involved because all of us, directly or indirectly, we have shelters. And cement is one major item that is used in production. And of course, we know that relatively the other product that has increased too. But cement is one major item that is used in building construction. The implication, it affects even your rentage. Your landlord, once cement is increased, your landlord will increase his rentage. Yes, looking at the implication, once the cement is increased, there is that consumer apathy to buy. There is that withdrawal. Sometimes they want to wait if the price will come down. The first time this yet was increased, now there is still consumer apathy. There is that withdrawal syndrome that, okay, let me wait a bit. This affects us, the retailer. You buy the cement, it's stocked there, and people are not coming for it. Then at the end of the day, the profit margin is low, your rate of turnover is low, and this is what gives birth to a lot of cutting corners. So the demand is there, and it's not making sales. So at the end of the day, there are also logistical constraint for him. He buys fuel, he repairs his vehicle, he repairs his bike, he makes calls, he takes care of his family, and a lot of domestic needs are on him. So he will look for a way to weather and to manage this the cost, the demands on him. So as a result of this increment, there are some of the engineers, they lack job, because if you are not building, the engineers will not, the man will not go to the site. The carpenter won't go to the site. It affects everybody. If you are a wife to a carpenter and he has no job, if you are a wife to your daughter and son to a messy man and he has no job, so it affects everybody. But And this is why we as a union, we are always calling on the government for a very strong collaboration, because we as a union, we can't do it alone. The issue of cutting corners, majorly with us as retailers, is this rebagging. Is this rebagging? Majorly with us is this rebagging. But this rebagging, we can only do the little.
Where do they get extra bags now to rebag?
Okay, extra bag.
How do they get extra bags? Is it not same retailers that will go to the company to request for the bags? Because I know the attachment for people used to make hair. If you're making your hair in the market, you see some people coming to pick those papers. You understand?
Yes.
So when they sometimes I will not call them and say, see, this thing you are doing is not good. Then I will not advise the hair makers, why not, once you remove the hair, put it to shreds so that they cannot go and, do you understand? When they pick all those, they still go and do all these substandard attachments. So are there not retailers that still go to all these producers to get the empty bags, so that when they remove the 50 kg of bag, they will now bring out 10 kg until they in one bag they will get maybe 50 bags, they will now get extra. Is it not empty bags that they still go to buy?
Yes, of course.
And they do say that, to add to that, they do say that there's a particular quantity that is needed to make how many cement to build in a day and all that. And when it's not forthcoming because of the money, like that's when we are looking at this rebagging and maybe having to fill it up with something and all that. How does it play out? How does it play out?
People always have where to get their materials. They know where they get it. But we have seen that the people who are into rebagging, they have where they buy rebag. So you were talking about the number of production of blocks per bag.
Yeah.
Okay. Look at the scenario. If a retailer of cement rebag and removes a quantity of products, then the motor on site, it is also another man to watch. But that is majorly not our feed. But if you are not also there, it has happened to me several times. The kg of the cement has been reduced by the bagging. Then you are supposed to produce certain number of blocks from a bag by generic standards. Then the man you have given cement to, we also now use 1.5 bags to produce 2 bags for you.
And do what? And rebag and also take away?
Rebag has been done to the cement. Then the place of production of the blocks. You understand? So, and what we always tell our customers who are very close to us, when you engage people on site, put a second eye there so that you can the production on site can be up to standard, because you have a lot of things are responsible. You see our houses they are all there's wear and tear. Before, in a very short time, you see house that you have cracks. The cracks are already there.
And we are even having building collapse.
Based on that rebagging,
let me go after them. You ask a very sensitive question. Where do they get the rebag? Should I shock you that most of these bags are gotten from side of manufacturing company?
You see?
There was one of our boy who was caught in my zone because I needed to sit him down to know how and where is this thing coming from. He made me to understand that they get these bags from Okbila, and Okbila is where the Dangote finally is situated.
Yeah.
So no matter how you may want to watch, where there is good, the bad also emerge.
Exist.
Where is perfect, there is also was substantial. There is also imperfect. So most of these things are not gotten from the tomatoes market, nor from the production of oil market. Is still gotten from where the cement manufacturer get their bag to sell, that is where they are getting it from.
They will go and buy. So the union, can't you go after them? Are they not part of what all these skirmishes? Don't you go?
Yes, the only way we can go after them is only when they are being caught. And let me tell you, these things, it look like have you heard of this mafia business? You know how mafia people operate?
Yes.
It's like a mafia business.
Very correct.
Where you can see how it's being dropped and when he's being transported. The only thing you see is when he's already prepared.
It's a serious concern because by way of wrapping up, we've talked about the implication. Of course, we've had building collapse because when these things are done steadily and all that, housing affordability, structure and all that, these things are affected. Now let's chart the way forward. After looking at all these things, let me still stay with you, Reverend. What needs to be done? Because we cannot continue like this.
And
because
cement
it's a serious
does not have alternative.
Yes,
No,
it's a serious concern for
Cement
building
does not have
and construction sector. And
there is for the common users. We used to, there is this compressed latrate that we're using before.
But I bet you that a lot of Nigerians,
that is an alternative.
It's not easy to it now. You can't.
I just want to let you know that there is alternative.
Yes.
So no matter how remote it is, not easy for you to afford that. Let me tell you.
But we are pressed for time. So let me start with you, Reverend Sir, charting the way forward.
Yes.
How can we address? Because I look at this as a menace in the industry, in that particular sector.
Yes.
It's affecting both the dealer, the buyer, the construction man over there, and the engineer out there. So what should be the rallying point in meeting this, tackling this issue?
Okay, thank you very much. I've been talking about government since. That is still the place to start from. First, the government must have a policy regulation. There must be a policy regulation that will regulate the activities of this cement industry, and that's one. So that's the kind of regulation that determines the cost of production and the cost of sales, so that government will be able to know if there is an overpricing mechanism somewhere. Because if I tell you, because like my BOT chairman said, yes, every producer will complain about logistics, but who actually determine the cost of production? I think the government must put its feet down to determine the cost of production, so that the disparity can be ascertained. So that's one. That policy formulation is very key. Infrastructural development. Many of the things that the distributor complain about, because cement is not produced at your backyard, Kogi is far, that's Obajana, though we have in Okpila here, that's so it's far. So the cost of logistics, the government, yes, good road network is gradually coming up, but if the government increase this infrastructure development, it will help the producer in the way of moderating the cost of unit price for per bag. Then again, we who are the users, we must always speak out, because we don't speak out, everybody is just there. Somebody come and ask anything, or nobody is saying anything. I want to thank NTA for please be giving us this opportunity, because we need to the populace needs to be conscientized, because we have a right to determine how we buy certain products. But that somebody comes and say this is the amount, and everybody swallow it down the throat. So I think the consumer, we must be given the time, the privilege of at least to wear our mind. So I think.
So who controls the price now? That because when
the factory,
when they give at 500 naira, how much do you put on top? The retailers.
Like we now, we don't have is the manufacturer and what the distributor.
Yes,
even the retailer don't even have.
All right, let's chart the way forward. Let's hear from you. What's the way forward in all this that we are wrapped in?
The way forward still lies in government. Let more people be
brought into
the
there should
industry.
Be competition in
yes, if there is competition. A holy competition,
like 20 people.
Do you understand? When I say holy competition, not the one will be given preference than the other.
Preference, yes.
Do you understand me? Let that preference not be there. Let them be having an equal hand.
Everybody come in.
Yes.
Let it be open for anybody.
Everybody, yes.
But at the end of the day, we hope they have the stamina to withstand the environmental factors and everything. Thank you so much. We would have loved to talk more, but we are pressed for time.
Thank you,
Reverend Ewemade Michael, State Chairman, Cement Dealers and Retailers Association here in the state, for spending time with us here to share your thoughts on it. And also Mr. John Uzomo, the BOT chairman of the same association here in the state. We so much appreciate your time. Thank you. Look forward to having you more like you said, to really educate the people on what is happening. As we wrap up, let's hear from you.
My own is everybody, housing is one of the necessities of man, and everybody will want to have his or her own house. So we're looking forward to both manufacturers, the retailers, to come together, chart a course so that at the end of the day the prices of cement will come down, so that everybody will have his or their own houses. Thank you for watching.
Of course, we are talking of housing deficit in Nigeria and how to close the gap. Certain things need to be done. Like it's always said, good cement must go with a good mix to have a good result.
Yeah,
so it involves everybody coming together, the dealers here, the retailers, the engineer out there, the construction worker, everybody, government, all hands must be on deck to ensure that this sector goes well, so that building collapse will not continue to be the order of the day in this country. Thank you so much for your time. We look forward to having you next week for another interesting edition. Until then, good morning.
Thank you very much.
Good morning, everybody. Bye.
Otherwise known as Waka.